Hi, and welcome back. I hope you had a Merry Christmas. We did. Got some gifts from friends, family, and the Christmas Rebel group that I belong to on Facebook that swaps recipes with Christmas cards every year. And that's how I get some of my recipes to share. Because of all the bad eating that everybody does, usually everybody does, during the Christmas season with the fudge and the cookies and the pies and the cakes and all around not so good but good tasting for us foods. We're going to go ahead and keep it simple today with a lentil pork soup. This is a recipe that I did share with my Christmas cards that I sent out for light eating, but not so light because it is going to be more of like a bean and meat stew than it is anything else because it's going to be a little bit chunky, but it is a soup. So let's get started. The first vegetable we're going to chop up is a leek. You can use onion if you wish. You want to go ahead and clean off all the dead parts off of the leek. You want to split it down the middle, like so. Now what happens is that whenever you do that, you expose all the in-between. See all that dirt? We need to clean that out. So what we're going to do is we're going to dismantle all of this, wash it off, wash all the dirt off, and then we're going to go ahead and finally chop this up because we're going to go ahead and saute it first before we start adding broth and everything else. All right, we have this nice and rinsed off. All the dirt and grit is gone. You'll never be able to buy a leek that is whole, that is clean, because of the way it grows. It keeps all the moisture, all the dirt from wherever it's grown at, and it gets transported to your grocery store and into your kitchen. So anytime that you have any type of leeks, go ahead and make sure that they are cleaned first. And then you can go ahead and chop these up like this. You can freeze what you don't use. So if you buy a whole bunch of it, you can go ahead and store it in the freezer, in freezer bags, and just grab some whenever you need some. All right, now this is going to be a one-pot wonder. We're going to do everything in all at once in the stock pot. So in your stock pot, you're going to add about a tablespoon or two of nice, clean olive oil. And then we're going to add our leek or onion, whatever you prefer. I prefer leeks. They have a nice mild flavor to them. Don't forget to get the garlic. As much garlic as you think you're going to need. So for our family, about 2 tablespoons. Now we're going to go ahead and chop up some celery. These are already cleaned crowns, so they're like half stalks. But I'm going to do 6 of these. is I'm also going to go ahead and trim them, the ends off and the bottoms, because those are the hardest parts. You have a little dried at the ends, and then this is incredibly hard and fibrous. I'm going to go ahead and split these in half lengthwise. Just like this. And then chop them up into smaller pieces. And then add that to the onions. I'm also going to go ahead and chop up some carrots into little squares. Kind of like that. Cut these into quarters. And then square these up like that. And then add that to the pot. Now you want to make sure that this gets a little bit softened and everything's translucent. So this is going to take a moment. Okay, now that that is all nice and cooked, we're going to go ahead and add the pork stock. And then one more time with the water. Let this come up to a boil. We're going to go ahead and add the meat. Now that we have the stock and water in here, I've gone ahead and added the meat as well so it can get all nice and cooked. We are going to go ahead and add spices now. Now these are just going to be basic spices. Okay, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of pepper, adjust to taste, one teaspoon of ground cumin, one and a half teaspoons of oregano, bay leaf, or 2, depends on your gas tolerance. Now I know we're using stock for this, but I also want to use a little bit of better than bouillon. This is the vegetable base. If you want to, you can go ahead and use pork base, If you're using chicken, you can use chicken base. Completely up to you. This adds a little bit more depth of flavor. And for a little bit of heat, we're going to go ahead and put some chipotle peppers spice in here. Just about 1/4 teaspoon. Not that much. You can skip that altogether or add more if you wish. We're going to let this come up to a boil, but just to a boil. After we do that, then we're going to go ahead and add about 1.5 cups of lentils. These lentils do not take that much time. They take about 20 minutes max to cook all the way through. So we can go ahead and add this last. All right, so now that this has come up to temperature, and everything is looking good, let's go ahead and add the lentils so it can cook for the rest of the time that we need to cook this for. So there's a cup. We're only going to add a cup to this. You can add 1.5 cups if you wish. It'll still take the same time. I just want this to be a little bit thinner than normal because of all the heavy eating that we've been doing the past week or two. Especially with the fudge and the cookies and everything. And it's done. Serve this with toast or whatever bread that you wish. If you got cornbread, it works well too. Got your lentils, you got your protein. Don't forget to fish out your bay leaf. Got veggies. It's light and it's filling. That's all I can muster for this week. It's been a long week, despite having the holiday in between and having days off and everything else like that. It's just been a lot. I was at a mall the night before a truck ran through it. That was scary. Yeah, you look it up. It's really scary. Thing is that in 1989, Christmas Eve, whenever I was living in California, an airplane went through that mall. I was not there. I didn't shop there, but I did work there in 1989. I think. Yeah, it was in 1989, and I had just left that job. I need to stay away from malls and Christmas. So I don't shop at malls too often. This upcoming January is going to be recipes that you can can. Now, just to let you know, you can can this recipe. Okay, it's just bean soup. 90 minutes for quarts and 75 minutes for pints on your pressure wherever your altitude is. 1,000 feet and under is 10 pounds. Above 1,000 feet in altitude is going to be 15 pounds. And that's pressure canning. But we are going to go ahead and look up some recipes from the older recipe books, see what we can out of that. Thank you for joining. Hope you enjoyed. And we'll see you next time.